Welcome to Review Nation. Today it's time again. It's the most played bands and songs of May. We continue this series for the most played. It's because I love tracking my statistics and I love to share and what I've experienced throughout May. And honestly, I've explored a lot of bands this month, new and old. It's been just a really great month of music. Now, this isn't a sponsored vid, but Last.fm tracks my stats of every single song, every single album I've listened to in the month of May. And every month, Last.fm correlates a report of all the top songs, of all the top bands I've been listening to in May. And honestly, I cannot wait to share with you. Now, this is the first time reaction. I haven't seen this report yet, because usually I do see the report before I film. We are down 6%. I usually listen to around 2,590 songs a month. We're down 6%, 2,337 songs I listened to in May. Now, the average scrubbles per day, which is the amount of songs you've listened to, is 75. Which is below average for me. The total listening time is 8 days and 8 hours, and that is a few hours below. So I have listened to less music this month. So basically the genres that absolutely ruled May was grindcore and melodic death metal, along with thrash metal and even new metal. Basically, I'm going to give you the most played albums of May. And coming at number 10 is Curse of the Crystal Coconut by Alestorm.
Wooden leg, I've got a wooden leg.
This is a very fun, playable album, it really is, and I keep repeating to myself, it's such a fun album, and I don't know how reviewers see that it's not fun, but it is fucking well fun. I just love the lyrics overall. The lyrics are so fucking stupid. The Alestorm, Curse of the Crystal Coconut is just so much fucking fun. So coming in at number 9 is Anaal Nathrakh in the constellation of the Black Widow. This album is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love Anaal Nathrakh, and I absolutely love In the Constellation of Black Widow. It's a lot darker, this album, with some really nice guitar melody by Mick Kenny. But yeah, Dave Hunt's vocals are absolutely insane throughout this album. So coming at number 8 is The Reckoning Dawn by Winterfelleth. This album is a black metal album and indeed made it into my top 10, and I fucking well love this album for what it is, especially the black vocals throughout this, incorporating orchestral elements at times, but yet folky elements, and quite proggy with some really long songs. But it's just a really good album to listen to, Winterfelleth, The Reckoning Dawn, one of the best black metal albums of the year. So coming in at number 7 is Napalm Death, Smear Campaign. This album is a very fun album. It's grindcore at its best, in my opinion. Napalm Death really improved, especially with their sound, especially in the early 2000s towards the 2010s. I just absolutely love the grittiness tone of the guitar, and Barney's vocals are absolutely insane, along with these really guttural growls. It's a really good album, and I played this album countless times now, and that's why it's at number 7. So coming at number 6 is a very fucking fun album, and it was an album that was released this month, but it didn't make it into my top 10, unfortunately. But it was Redneck Vikings from Hell by Aether Realm. This is a folky melodic death metal album incorporating elements of progressive metal along with some really fun death metal times. I love his vocals. I really enjoy the steering guitar solos throughout this album, and not to mention how different it is to the other album by Aether Realm. But damn, it's a very fun album. So coming at number 5 is another Anaal Nathrakh album, Desideratium. This album is so much fun. I absolutely love the production. A lot of people complain about the production, how it's too crisp. Well, they can fuck off, because this is a fantastic fucking album by Anaal Nathrakh. This album really grew on me throughout the months. I love this album. Although it's not my favorite Anaal Nathrakh album, Desideratum's got an absolutely amazing melody, very similar to the album like Vanitas, but Desideratum's definitely got that production that is just so damn crisp and punchy, and I absolutely love it. Bathe in the joy stream, 29,000 children today. Oh, joy stream is so damn good, and that's why Desideratum is at number 5. So coming in at number 4 is Turning Season Within by Draconian. This album is intense, it's very doomy, it's death doom, and it's just a fucking fantastic album. It really is. His vocals are so damn guttural, are so damn demonic, and her vocals are absolutely angelic. This is really good, and it's just like this album, it's just swallowing you whole. So coming in at number 3 is Wasp, the Crimson Idol. Now this is a concept album talking about Jonathan, who becomes a rock star, but unfortunately what happens in the end, where I'm not going to spoil the end, but definitely check out The Crimson Idol by Wasp, because this is one of the best concept albums I've heard, in my opinion. I love it. I love The Crimson Idol, but The Crimson Idol by Wasp is just fucking fantastic. So coming at number 2 is no surprise, and it was my number 1 album of May, but it's Paradise Lost Obsidian. What more can I say? It's just a fucking fantastic album. Like all their years combined into one album. It's that damn good. The Foolish Trust. I absolutely love The Devil Embrace. Love Ghost. Love Darker Thoughts. It's so damn good, this album. Definitely check it out. And coming in at number 1 is Ferox by Make Him Die Slowly. Again, it's a side project by Anaal Nathrakh. Mick Kenny is on guitars. This is my second favorite album of May. It's the most played album of May, but I just feel Paradise Lost is a lot better. But this has a repetitive factor like none other, very similar to Anaal Nathrakh Desideratum, or even in the constellation of the Black Widows. It's got a repeat factor, this album. There is so much, there's so much to enjoy. It's just a fun fucking album by Make Them Die Slowly. Now let's go to, it's the most played artists of May. And coming out at number 10 is Ether Realm.
Sail the oceans and climb every mountain, face every army and conquer them all.
This is a very surprising artist, to be honest. I played Redneck Vikings of Hell a hell of a lot of time when this was released, and this is probably why it's at number 10. It's such a fun album. To be honest, I actually forgot to put this on my list. Like, there was just so many good albums after this. I'm so glad they made it to my top 10, the most played artists of May, because they deserve it. I love the song Guardians. It's like a melodic folk death metal band that you just can't get enough of. So coming in at number 9 is, surprise, surprise, it's Dream Theater. Dream Theater again make it to my top 10. My most played album was 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. And my most played song was another 6 Degrees, and my most played song was The Great Debate, which is another fantastic song. And Dream Theater again continue consistently to make it into my top 10 because they are my favorite band of all time. So coming in at number 8 is, no surprise, Make Them Die Slowly. just repetitive listens of Ferox, they instantly made it into my top 10 because this album's so much fun. And if you like that black and death grindcore sound, you're gonna fucking well love Make Them Die Slowly. Coming at number 7 is Kamelot. Listen to a lot of Kamelot this month, listen to a lot of Kamelot last week, and this is probably why it's made it in my top 10. This is because I'm doing an album ranking for Kamelot this week. Still gotta do it, still gotta listen to a few more other albums and trying to get my ranking into order. But my most played album was Eternity, which was the first album. I don't know why I played Eternity a lot this month. Maybe I'm just trying to figure out if it's good or not. Coming in at number 6 is Paradise Lost.
Accept the pain for all who ever tried.
And I listened to 4 albums this month by Paradise Lost, but Obsidian easily was number one album was easily the number one album I listened to by Paradise Lost, followed by Believe in Nothing, and my most played song is surprisingly Deviled Embrace, tied with Darker Thoughts. Coming in at number 5 is Wasp. Heavy metal band Wasp. My most played album was The Crimson Idol, followed by Re-Idolized, which is another version of The Crimson Idol, which is an album I discovered, and this is basically a longer version of The Crimson Idol with some good songs, with some good add-on songs, and basically it's just a remake of The Crimson Idol. I do have a little bit of a pet-hate with this album, but it's still a very good album. I just feel The Crimson Idols is superior than Re-Idolized. The most played song was Dr. Rocta, which is also from The Crimson Idol. Fantastic concept album. So coming in at number 4 is Draconian. Brand new doom metal band I discovered this month. It's all thanks to that new single. Turning Season Within is most definitely my favorite album by them, and I absolutely adore it. I have heard this album about 6 times this month. I absolutely love it. I think Turning Season Within will probably be my favorite album of all time because I listened to all their albums and I just feel Turning Season Within is the best. My most played song was Earthbound. So one of my favorite bands made it, and it's a monomath. Coming in at number 3, and my most played album was Surprise Surprise Deceiver of the Gods. I absolutely love that album. Fun journey to just go through these albums again for the album ranking. Deceiver of the Gods is definitely one of the best albums. And my most played song was As Lucky Falls, which is again another fantastic song by a monomath, also from the Deceiver of the Gods. A monomath are an absolutely fantastic melodic death metal band incorporating Viking themes throughout their songs. So this band was number 1 last month. Well, they've dropped to 2, and it's Anaal Nathrakh. What can I say? Like, I talk about Anaal Nathrakh a lot now. A lot since I'm really getting into him. They're becoming one of my favorite bands. They're becoming one of my favorite bands. They've instantly made it into my top 10 bands of all time. Absolutely love it. Desideratium was the number 1 album for this month, including In the Constellation of Black Widow. But coming third was also Venatus. My most played song was The Joy Stream. Bathe in the Joy Stream. So damn good, that song. Absolutely fucking love it. Finally, my most played band of May was Napalm Death. Big shock. Yes, I discovered Napalm Death this month, and I have a love and hate relationship for this band. I'm not a very big fan of their old stuff, to be honest. I don't like Scum, Their second album is okay, but when they went on to death metal, like Utopia Banished, and they experimented throughout Diatribes and Fear, Emptiness, Despair, and then moved on to grindcore again, a much more better grindcore in my opinion, which was enemy of the music business, then moved on to a much more heavier sound. I absolutely fell in love with this band. I think they're a really good band in my opinion, but my most played album was Smear Campaign, followed by The Code is Red, Long Live the Code, which is just a fun album, and third was Diatribes, which is an album I absolutely really enjoy. I just love how different, how groovy it is, but yet they incorporate elements of new metal, which is so damn interesting. Really interesting album. I just really love the Napalm Death experimental side. But you can hate all you want. I don't really enjoy the early years of Napalm Death, invigorated, freshy, punky grindcore. And certainly I do respect them because they definitely influence bands like Anaal Nathrakh and other extreme metal bands. But my most played song by Napalm Death was Climate Controllers. This is a fantastic song and I absolutely love the groove of this song. I absolutely love the grittiness guitars. It's really grindcore, but it's so damn awesome. So guys, that's where I leave you today. Comment below whether you enjoyed this video or not, and join me next month as I will give you the most played bands and songs of June, and I'll see you in the next one.